Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Plein Airpril. This is Plein Airpril number 15. It used to be tax day today, but that is not so this year. I always file my taxes early though, so not an issue for me. And I am doing a plein air painting from my window again and just painting the tree across the way. It was getting a little bit late, the sun was low, and I really loved the way that it seemed to just light up a lot of the branches and make them look really orange, almost like fall colors, except there were no orange leaves. It was just the limbs and twigs and branches of these trees that were being illuminated by the low setting sun and making them just really glow, and I wanted to capture that. And I decided to go for a little bit different composition than what I typically do, and I really like how this turned out. And I think sometimes I take for granted or don't even really appreciate and think about how important it is to kind of change up the composition a little bit. And so this time I decided that there wouldn't be any ground in this composition. I really wanted the emphasis and the focus to be on these tree branches. And so you see basically just the top 2/3 of the house across the way, and then the tree mostly. And I think that it actually turned out really effective. One other thing that I wanted to try out, and oh, I forgot to mention, this is just gouache like I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, but instead of painting on illustration board today, I decided to give this Cottonwood sketchbook a chance. And I've had this sketchbook for a while and have been a little bit afraid, I guess, to use it because I'm just one of those people where I get a lot of sketchbook anxiety. And if I have a nice sketchbook with really nice paper, I'm just so worried about messing it up that I feel like, oh, I have to become like this amazing, perfect artist before I can even use this sketchbook, which I know that's so absurd. Sketching is how I'm going to become an amazing, wonderful artist. So sometimes you gotta just take a chance, and I bought this sketchbook, I should probably use it, not just have it laying around waiting for some disaster to befall it, like spilling a bunch of tea all over it or something crazy like that. So this was my first sketch in this book, and because the paper is toned, I decided that it would be a good challenge for me to leave some of the paper unpainted. So rather than painting every cubic centimeter or square centimeter, not cubic, square centimeter of this page, I would find a way to just work with the tone of the page itself. So the side of the house that is receiving a little bit more of the sunlight, I decided that would just stay the same as the paper. So I didn't paint there other than the little windows on the side. And I think that that turned out really well. And I really like how subtle it is. When I remove the tape, you'll see it a little bit better, and it's not super obvious because it's just a relatively small piece of this composition, but I think it was really effective, and it was a good challenge for me because I just get really preoccupied, I think, with painting everything and trying to fiddle around with everything, that I sometimes forget that sometimes minimalism is very effective, or kind of a minimalist approach where you hold back just a little bit. And I really wanted to also limit the colors, so I didn't add any green to the palette, of course, because there's no grass or anything like that in here. And honestly, green is something I'm sort of new to using because I'm used to just mixing it myself. But one thing I've realized is that when you do mix your own greens, yes, you get better greens, quite honestly, more natural looking greens, but you also kind of use up a lot of yellow, and I've noticed that yellow is the tube of paint that I tend to have to buy the most just because I use it up so fast. So I'm trying to incorporate using greens out of the tube because, first of all, you often get a tube of green paint in any set of paints that you buy, which was the case here. And you can use that and just add yellow and blue and even red to it to make it look a little bit more natural. And so I'm hoping that will kind of prolong how my yellows last. So basically what I did to capture some of the oranges and bright reds in the branches was just to use really light, dry strokes of orange and a little bit of red with white mixed in, so kind of pink, and just kind of brush those on, not necessarily as individual branches, but as masses of branches. And I think that it was actually pretty effective. And I also only used flat brushes for this composition as well, which I really liked. I think that that forces you to work a little bit more loosely when you're using all flats. You have a lot more control with round brushes because they have that nice point. And with flats, you kind of get more straight edges and a little bit more of a graphical look, which I really like. So now I'm going to remove the bottom tape here, and you'll see on that brighter side of the house, it's the same as the paper, and I really like that. So this was a really fun sketch. It actually turned out really good. I like it, and I have not yet ruined my Cottonwood sketchbook, so it will live to see another day, another sketch, and maybe I'll try to use this sketchbook at least for the rest of this week for my Plein Airprils. Hope you guys enjoyed this and that you're having a great day. Bye!